Do you want to compare your data from last growing season with this growing season? In this video, I'm going to show you a little trick to do just that with our data import feature. There are quite some steps to follow, but once the graph is set up, you will benefit from it all year long. Let's navigate to the dashboard. For that, we create a new widget. It doesn't matter that much which widget you're going to choose because it's the data points that we want to use for the export. But here we use a bar chart and we use this pointed microclimate sensor, but you can choose whatever sensor you'd like. We give it a title and we choose the right period, which is the most important part since this is the data that you want to use for the comparison. So the data from last year or last period. I know that for this sensor, we have data from May 1st, 2023, and I want to use the data till the 31st of December, 2023. Check that the aggregation type and the interval is set correctly. And now we have our graph with the data that we want to export. So click on the graph and click on the arrow in the top corner. There you can export the file, give it a name and click on download. Next thing, we're gonna import this data in our sheet. I use Google Spreadsheets for this, but you can also use Excel or any spreadsheet program you want to use. We import the file and make sure that you convert the dates as dates. Scroll down and you see a link to the dashboard. We're going to get rid of that one. And the next thing we're going to do is click on the date and change it from 2023 to 2024. Small trick, if you only change the first two, then select them both and click on the small blue dot. Select everything down to the bottom, then it will keep the right dates and only change the year from 2023 to 2024. There was a row with a date from 2025, I deleted that one. Give it a title and export it again as a CSV file. Then we're going to go back to the platform. So back to the platform, we're going to go to the menu and navigate to registration sheets. There we're going to import the file we just created. Select a file that you just created. And the reason we have changed the dates from 2023 to 2024 is that we can show them in the same graph. But remember, it is still the 2023 data, so it's nice to reflect that in the title of the column. We selected that this was a temperature and that it is in Celsius. So we imported this data. Why is it empty? We need to refresh our page. Let's do that. Then we see our imported data, but we note that the temperature values are without a decimal point. So we're going to fix that. Navigate to sensors. Search for the data we just imported. Go to settings. And there you can change the amount of decimal points. We had 1 decimal, so we're going to select back to the registration sheets. And we see now reflected that our data has 1 decimal point. Now we're going to go back to dashboards and add a widget, because now we're going to create the widget where we then compare the year data with our current data. We select the combined data and choose our pointed microclimate again and the data that we imported. Give it a nice widget title. Select the period, and it's important now that we choose the data from May 1st, 2024 till the end of this year. Since this is reflecting the data that we exported from 2023, we only imported it as 2024 data, reflected in the same graph. This seems okay. Choose the aggregation type and interval size again. And we're going to create this graph. Now you have a graph which shows the data of last year, 2023, and the data from this year, so far at least. There are a lot of steps, but you only need to create this graph once, and then you can use it the entire year or growing season to look back upon. Were those steps a little bit too much for you, or do you have any questions? Don't hesitate to reach out to support. We're happy to help you setting up a dashboard like this or having a meeting to discuss how you can do this together.